Bean, Byron, and Oakley have been enslaved by robots. Dance for your dinner, monkeys.
Houston, we have a problem.
Crazy parents, crazy life.
That's why you listen to me!
Oh, wait a minute, let me change my icon.
And guess what, fuckface?
This is a million sideways.
Yeah.
Bizzle, we're really glad you're not in dark.
I look so fucking tan in this hangout. I'm
Yeah.
gonna fucking use this.
That was scary for a second.
Yeah, I think because all the lights are
Hey,
out.
You know, I
you
purposely
might as
don't
well
have
be
lights
on
on.
Africa.
I don't have all the lights out in my boudoir. But see how I
Yeah.
have this tank top on under my robe? You guys on
I know,
iTunes
you
can't
broadcasting
see
to
this.
us from a movie theater?
Yeah. I'm being very loungy. Very loungery.
Yeah, YouTube listeners. I'm actually wearing a similar situation.
Are you wearing a cowl neck? Liz,
It's May.
is that a cowl neck?
Me? No, it's like a sweatshirt.
Oh.
And I'm slouched down because I'm like wearing my pajamas. No, it's just like a sweatshirt.
Guys, happy spring.
Yes.
Gotta watch the YouTube to see my outfit, y'all.
Woo woo.
Happy spring. It's nice outside.
Yeah.
Gotta open my window.
Today's a big news day because at 8:59 I watched our show notes getting filled out, and we've got 6 solid stories to talk about today. In no particular order, but today happens to be.
Oh wow, when I looked there was only like 2.
Yeah, I added 3 a little while ago.
Nice job, kids. Doing work.
Nice.
In no particular order, we would like to wish our friend of the pod, Bears Levi Johnston, a happy birthday. Liz, you were a little bit obsessed with Levi Johnston, I think in 2008. You wanted to be the woman carrying his child in your fetus. And
I don't even know who
unfortunately,
that
Bruce Palin beat
is
you
right
to it.
now. I always forget who I want to be my baby daddies. Devil and Daniel Johnson, is that who we're
Sarah-
talking about here? Oh, Levi Johnson, that's right, I was
Sarah
obsessed with
Palin's
him.
daughter's baby. Liz had an unhealthy
right. He's
relationship.
handsome.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
Liz
I just
went and
thought it
bought
was
every
ballsy the way you
Playgirl.
just went ahead and knocked up Sarah Palin's retarded daughter.
And you unabashedly marched
I
into
did,
every
I
fucking
did.
7-Eleven and bought his Playgirl when it came out. You just tucked them under your arm and you just fucking walked out.
Yep.
No shame in yo game.
Wait, can I?
Yeah, I said I will take this Playgirl with Levi Johnson and this Playgirl with Levi Johnson.
Wait, who's this guy again?
So
What?
he's like this backwoods Alaskan who wound up knocking up Bristol Palin, and Bristol Palin was pregnant when her mom was announced to be McCain's running mate. But she kind of kept it under wraps, and then when she started showing too much, she had to be honest and be like, listen, I'm pregnant. But they've gone through like a pretty nasty divorce. I don't think they ever even got married, but then to get more publicity, they got back together, then that didn't work out, and then ultimately...
I don't think they ever got married.
Then ultimately he did Playgirl, much to Liz's pleasure. He did a big...
Much to my delight.
He did a big pictorial in there.
Because he's pretty easy on the eyes, that guy.
Didn't
I'm
Sarah
not even sure he's 18
The,
years old, but he's...
say that waterboarding is how we baptize terrorists?
Yes! Oh my god, I'm glad you brought that up.
I thought that's a zinger of a
No,
quote.
I did not.
Yeah.
She's crazy.
Which is crazy.
She's just jumped the shark now. I think her whole persona is just saying crazy shit, so people pay attention to
Yeah.
her.
I mean,
I don't-
that's what her persona was before.
no,
She's
you
like
know,
the
I don't-
foil of the Republic. The Republicans are like, okay, you be super crazy so that we sound normal.
I think it's the opposite. I think she doesn't have handlers now because I don't think she's like in serious contention, so she doesn't have like a staff of people like reining in her crazy. Like she's just herself. And
Yeah,
so,
well, you know what it is? Oak, you're absolutely right with that. And the other thing is, she never had any idea what she was talking about. She's like us. She's like this podcast with the exception of Oak. Like, we hear about 15% of something, and then we make up the rest
Yeah.
when it comes to news. Oak, I think you're probably the only one who watches news and listens to it and understands it and talks about it.
Truth.
So she's the type who was on the circuit, and she's like, "Oh, Benghazi, okay," and then like fills in the rest of the story. So I think now she's just fucking not afraid of doing that. I think before she was like, "Shit, like I have some pressure," and now she's just having fun with it, you know?
So that brings up a sort of interesting topic that I wanted to mention. So we're all following this like Clippers owner David Sterling thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious that the guy's a fucking scumbag. He's 80-year-old, like,
Of course.
old, crusty, racist fuck. But all this stuff like that's happening, all this fallout, and he's getting probably his team taken away from him, and banned from the NBA for life, losing his livelihood, whatever, is all like falling out of like a private conversation that he had with his girlfriend. And I was thinking the other day.
Yeah, I find this all really scary.
Well, what if you were held accountable for a private conversation that you had with someone who was close to you?
What if I was held accountable for this podcast?
Right. Like, I say some fucking awful shit in the heat of the moment, like in the car raging or whatever. Like, I say some things that I would not want to be out in public, and if people were holding me accountable for it, like, people would think very badly of me.
Yeah, but the thing that you have to remember
Jack
is
Savage
that,
ever wanted to divorce me.
Yeah, but that's just it, right? You are most comfortable around people that are comfortable around you. Like, if you're dating a girl that's a third of your age, less. I mean, she's 30, so whatever. And then you're buying her shit like Ferraris and Bentleys and a house and stuff. You don't really have anything in common with her. She's not being real with you, so you shouldn't feel comfortable being real with her. Oak, when you get fucking angry in the car and you scream shit out, you have Amy to your right, who's your ride or die bitch. She has your back for life, and she's not gonna fucking sell you out. But the thing is, when people hang out with people who don't have genuine relationships with them, and I think the three of us don't hang out with those types of people. Like, I say shit that's fucking horrible. The only time I feel bad about it is when I do it at work. Like, I say some nasty shit out loud at work sometimes. I'm like, there are people who definitely will fucking use that against me someday.
Yeah,
like,
I think
with friends.
it's a slippery slope.
I guess the question is like, what do we want to judge people based on? Do we want to judge people based on what they think and how they feel, or how they act? Because if you judge David Sterling, whatever his name is, Donald Sterling, based on how he acts in this context, his coach is a black man, his highest paid coach in the NBA. His entire team is black. He pays them tons of money. His general manager for 20 years is black. So in that context, he's not really acting racist. He still might be a racist. He still might have racism in his heart. But do we judge someone on how they feel or on what they do in the world?
Right. I'm a waitress, and I walk out to every single table and say, I treat everybody really, really well, and I fucking hate them. When I walk back into the service station, I talk about how much I hate them, I talk about how ugly they are and how stupid their fucking outfits are, and then I go back out there and I treat them like gold, and they give me tips, and I'm a really good waitress. But if all of my customers knew what was in my real heart, I'd be fired from every job I ever had. We should be allowed to have fucking secret beliefs.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
No, I agree with you guys. You know, I, as self-deprecating as it may be, I really don't like fat people. And whenever I see them, I'm like, oh, you were totally going to fart on this bus. You were totally going to eat the last piece of pizza. And when they talk to me, I smile. I'm like, hey, I'm one of you. But deep down inside, I'm like, you are not one of me. Like, you are not fucking primped. You do not smell like vanilla body lotion. We have nothing in common. But if they knew how I felt when they got on the fucking train and took up 3 seats, they'd be mad.
And it's like, it's not, okay, it's obviously not, yeah, but again, it's not okay to be racist. You shouldn't fucking say shit like that ever. And his racism wasn't even, like, funny or accurate. But it's just, this is such a scary thing to me that this guy is getting his whole fucking life turned over, and he is a villain. People find him to be a villain now because of a private conversation that they had. It's recorded by some bitch.
He doesn't seem to be doing that poorly. I mean, despite the whole cancer thing. So have you guys heard he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer? So he's got that going for him too. Everything's coming up Donnie. He is just living life right now. But anyway, he was seen at a hospital, at a restaurant in Beverly Hills, and they were like, wow. And he was sitting right out in the open, smiling, and everyone in Beverly Hills is super, super liberal.
Because
and...
he didn't do anything. Why? He
No, I know.
shouldn't be able to go to restaurants?
No, I'm just saying,
Like, he just...
it's not affecting him as much as you would expect. Like, I mean, he has to sell it.
They banned him from the NBA, and he got fined $2.5 million.
He bought that team in like 1983 for $18 million, and he's going to be selling it for $600 million. He should just fucking sell it and go on vacation.
It's still $2.5 million that this man has to pay. I realize that that's like a fucking parking ticket for him, but like even a falsely issued parking ticket is annoying. It's like I just don't like.
True. No, you're right. But listen, let me say something. If there's anyone who can relate to V. Stiviano, and I'm pretty sure the V stands for visor, it's you, Elizabeth Hall, because I feel like her fashion choices are so on par with some of yours.
Dude, yeah.
Rollerblading to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big ass visor covering your face. Yeah.
Is that V. Stiviano, the chicken head that released the tape?
Yeah.
The funniest thing to me is that he's so racist to her, but she is not white. At what point? She's Filipino, and he's like being so racist and saying all this horrible racist stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
Liz, that was racist because she's actually Mexican.
Oh, really? That's not racist. That's ignorance.
Yeah.
I guess they're the same thing. Yeah. I just didn't know.
You damn ignorant. You are so ignorant sometimes.
I'm ignorant. That is definitely my biggest flaw, and if anybody were to ever accuse me of being racist, I would say nay. I don't hate races, I just don't understand anything. I don't know all the answers.
Speaking of not understanding everything, what the fuck is happening up in Toronto?
Rob Ford!
He is a disaster.
He is a disaster.
Somebody get him on this podcast immediately.
So wait,
yeah.
There's another crack video?
No, he's going to rehab. Which makes me even more sad that Yeah, there was another crack video, wasn't there?
Yeah, and I've never wanted to blow raspberries on someone's belly as much as I've wanted to with Rob Ford. He's fucking adorable.
He's adorable. He's just like this poor hapless dude who just like ends up being the mayor of Toronto and smoking crack. Like, he didn't ask for that.
Liz, you know how last week on your stand-up bit that we listened to, you talked about like the Charmin bears? Can't you just see like a naked Rob Ford traipsing around the woods, like
just
with
sitting behind a tree stuck to his butt,
with big toilet paper roll stuck to his butt, and he's just smoking crack?
Yeah, totally.
Offer some to a bunny.
I just don't understand. I've never seen such a fat crackhead. I guess crack is not the same as meth, but still, wouldn't you lose some weight from being a crack addict?
I would think so. I would think crack is the best way to lose weight.
Yeah. You don't want to eat like a sandwich after you smoke a bunch of crack.
Hey, you just want to
smoke Rob Ford. Yeah.
Guys, you know what? As I was doing research for today's pod 3 minutes ago, which is 20 minutes after it started, did you guys realize that fucking 16 Candles came out 30 years ago?
Wow.
Fucking crazy, right?
That is crazy. I didn't ever think I was born when that movie came out, but I guess I was.
I always thought it was like late 80s. The fact that it's like almost as old as us is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally thought you said 16 Handles.
Is that an ice cream place?
Yeah,
that too.
Yogurt place.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They took photos of Jonah Hill leaving 16 Handles the other day, and he was with 3. So Jonah Hill got fat again, which is
he did?
giving me all the fucking incentive in the world. Yeah, he got super fat. And my goal is to just replace him in Hollywood.
Ooh, I like that plan.
Fat, prettier. Yeah. And so he went to 16 Handles. And you know when you go there, you have like 3 options for cup size, like small, medium, large, whatever. So he's with a bunch of people, and they all had smalls or mediums. Jonah got the quart, like the takeaway quart. And he's seen leaving 16 Handles with like a half gallon of ice cream with toppings. And he looks so fat and sloppy. And I'm like, damn.
Jonah, you had it for a minute there, buddy.
Almost.
That mental image gives me horrible brain freeze, but I also really want to go and get ice cream right now.
I feel like there should be some penalty for Byram's anti-fat views.
You're right.
Well, he's like
for those.
You should pay a fine.
Yeah. for those of you not watching YouTube right now, I am
What's
very
that Ryan
fat.
Gosling movie about the? You're fluffy.
I'm not fat. I'm fluffy, guys. I'm glad you
You have
mentioned
big
Ryan
bones.
Gosling. I'm glad you mentioned Ryan Gosling. So
Yeah.
yesterday we threw a surprise birthday party for my mom. So my mom turned 65 yesterday, and we had never done anything for her 50th.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. We had never done anything for her 50th or her 60th, and then she retired last year. We never did anything for her retirement, so we decided this would be her 65th birthday retirement party. We'd invite all of her family, friends, coworkers, whatever. So I'm sitting at a table, and you know, you're supposed to be on your best behavior when you're around like your parents' friends, but you can't help it. Like when you're around your siblings, I'm sure you two go through this also. Like if Mary Gormley Hall ever has you guys around some of her coworkers, like if you two sat at a table, you'd definitely observe who's around you and kind of make stuff up about them. So one of my mom's old coworkers comes in, and my brother and I, so the four of us are sitting together, and I just turn to my brother and I'm like, that chick looks like Ryan Gosling. And then he was like, yeah, I was thinking that too. Like, she definitely looks like Ryan Gosling, like longer hair. And then my other brother goes, she's more Ryan Grosling. And then we just fucking lost it at the table. And I was like, we're so old, sitting at the kids' table at our mom's birthday party, making fun of a woman who's perfectly nice and here to celebrate our mother
Yep.
for two different reasons. Then we're just fucking ripping on her. So if she's listening to this, I'm sorry, and please do not fine me $2.5 million for airing your dirty laundry.
Exactly.
Guys, what is up? Moving on to the next news story. What is up? Did you guys hear about Ben Affleck getting banned from the Hard Rock Cafe? From Hard Rock Hotel Casino?
No.
Yeah, so apparently in 2001,
Why?
he's really, really good at blackjack. And in 2001, he won like $800,000 during like, over a few days playing blackjack there. And so he then had gone to rehab for like gambling and booze addiction, whatever. And now he's back. And I guess yesterday he was doing really well while he was playing, and they realized that he was counting cards, which is not illegal, but the Hard Rock frowns on it. So they just banned him from ever coming back there, which I feel like is just a big PR stint for them.
Well,
but,
I mean, a casino can ban you for any reason. They don't even need a reason. They can just ban you. And counting cards is one of the reasons that they do, because they don't like it because it works.
the counting cards. Do you know how counting cards works? Because that shit just sounds like a lot of work.
Yes, it's actually, I don't remember the specifics of it. Like, I couldn't do it for you right now, but at times I have understood the principle of it, and it's not complicated. It's just really hard. You have to really focus on just counting cards. You can't be having conversations, unless you're like an incredible genius. Can you like count cards and like talk to people and do other things? But for the most part, it's just you're literally keeping track of the number of each type of card that has been dealt, and placing bets upon the likelihood of that card appearing again using the count that you have in your head. So it's a sensible way to do it. And whenever you play blackjack like kind of seriously, you sort of try to count cards a little bit. Like,
yeah, I feel like I'm always doing that.
if you've seen a certain card a bunch of times, you kind of guess that you're not going to see that again. But it's really
I
hard.
definitely do the same thing with Mexican dominoes. I hope I don't get banned from playing Mexican dominoes.
Stop being so racist against Mexicans, Liz. Now cough up $2.5 million.
Mexican dominoes are just as good as any other dominoes.
Yeah. You know what's funny
I know
though?
that's true. They got on the train.
Yeah. You would totally notice me counting cards, because I would break out like a big box of 64 crayons, some construction paper, and I'd be like, wait, what was that? What card was that? Keeping track of all that. Like, you're totally not. I'm not stopping anything I do. This is why I don't play blackjack. This is why I park my Rascal scooter at a handicapped slot machine, hook up my oxygen tanks to my nose, and I just start cranking that lever, boy.
Oh yeah.
I hit big payout.
Totally.
Cigarettes until you win.
With your quart of 16 handles, your 16 candles ice cream.
Yeah.
There is nothing more depressing than seeing someone with their Rascal scooter pulled up to a slot machine, pumping in quarters, sucking down cigarettes with their like waist-high big gulp like parked on the floor next to them.
I think it looks majestic. I envy those people.
It's so
I think they
so
look
Rob
dominant
Ford
in their field.
When Rob Ford launches a new clothing
So
line,
Rob Ford. I hope that's what Rob Ford turns to.
because
yeah.
Rob Ford is related to Tom
So
Ford,
Rob
so when Rob Ford launches his own custom design ladies fashions,
Yeah.
that's the look he's going to go for, the aesthetic, if you will. Liz, I heard that you're pretty stoked about Mariah. I know this is in Oak's show notes, so Liz, I saw that you're pretty stoked about Mariah Carey's new album.
You guys, Mariah Carey is the craziest person on this planet, and I love her. But she's coming out with a new album, and it's called I Am Mariah, ellipsis, The Elusive Chanteuse.
What?
That's the title of her album. I don't think she knows what chanteuse means. I don't think I know what chanteuse means.
Isn't it like a green color?
Nick Cannon definitely does not know what chanteuse means.
She's way too high on her own supply, dude.
Yeah.
Isn't chanteuse like a color green?
Yeah.
A shade of green?
But I think I'm actually really excited about it. That's chartreuse, but very close.
I just wanted
you
to
have
hear.
been fined $2.5 million, and you're banned from the NBA.
No, I already knew that. I just wanted to hear you say shark
Sure,
on the
you
podcast because we're 31 minutes in and no one said it. So I was like, how do I fucking bait her into saying it? And you said it. Thanks. I win.
No one's talking about poop.
We came so
Damn
close
it, I
with
walked right
Charmin
into that
Bear
one.
and Rob Ford, but
You
no,
totally would.
we had to bring in Mimi for this. I mean, she's had worse named albums. She's had albums named
I know.
Glitter, Rainbow, Butterfly. I mean, I'm just reading them off my CD rack right now next to my bed. The Emancipation of Mimi. She's not the fucking naming her albums really well.
I know.
Oak's ears are bleeding.
I know,
Anyone
right.
watching
It just,
YouTube
we also
right
haven't
now?
heard anything from her in so long.
Yeah. Remember when she went crazy on TRL?
Oak just threw up, and there's chunks on the screen. Yes. And she got into the bathtub with like... Oh, no, that's right. But she also went crazy on her cribs a little bit. She, like, got into the bathtub with no water in it.
Yeah. No, there
Which
was
is
water in it,
wonderful.
but she was
I
clothed.
love her. I'm looking
She
forward to the
ran
album, though. Can't lie, Mimi. Oh, yeah.
She... Speaking of... So now that we're on the music kick, because this is the music segment of our podcast, do you have a drop that we could play?
We do need a good drop, don't we? How about this?
Oh, that was fucking great.
That was
so
a really good one. Nice job.
Speaking of music, Beyonce and Jay-Z are doing a joint tour because they need more money. So they're going to do
Right.
like eight cities this summer. It's called On the Run. And we're being paid to plug that right now. So buy your tickets at Ticketmaster.com, and 13 cents from each ticket transaction goes to us or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Bay is actually going to be on the show in 2 weeks when you're in Africa, so she'll be here to plug that tour, which is very exciting.
You guys needed someone else named B to fucking sub in for me.
Exactly. I'm like, what's it like riding on Byram's coattails?
What's it
how do
like
you
being
feel
my
about being completely
understudy?
original in your- Yeah. What's it like learning everything you know from Byram?
I hope that you think about that, Beyonce, every day that you wake up and have to kiss Jay-Z on his big croissant lips.
That was wicked racist.
No, have you guys ever seen? You follow the Fat Jewish on Instagram?
No.
So he posts like
that's
really
cool.
funny things, and one of the things he posted, it might have not even been him. It might have been on an app called iFunny, which I guess is my pick of the week this week, but I'm a little premature with that. And there was a picture of Jay-Z, and right next to it there was a picture of croissants, and they had the same like lines.
That's really funny. So what are they on the run from? All their money? On the run from having the perfect life.
Speaking of not so perfect lives, there's a really big news story that I've been waiting to cover, and I guess this is the perfect time to do it because we're about 34 minutes into this. You notice I'm doing a countdown today? I'm like, we're at 36 minutes today.
I know.
We only have
You're
6 minutes
watching
left.
the clock.
So Big Bang star Kaylee Cuoco, and for those of you who don't watch Big Bang, she's also known as who? She bought Khloe Kardashian's house and moved into it, and she's claiming it was cursed. So now she's getting some publicity for that. And
Is claiming it was cursed? Like, what?
What?
yeah, like shit's going wrong now that she lives there. So she's claiming it's the Kardashian curse.
Is her husband smoking crack in Skid Row in LA and can't get a job in the NBA?
I think
Wait.
so.
What curse? Is she getting banged by basketball players and making shitloads of money for no reason?
Right. Is she the ugly sister now?
Exactly. The only thing I can think of versus that house is fucking big Khloe Kardashian turds that are fucking
Yeah.
stuck in some of the toilets.
The giant
logs
Sasquatch footprints are
of
not a
Kardashian.
curse. They're just from Khloe Kardashian.
It's like, how the fuck does this chick have enough money to buy Khloe Kardashian's house, and then that's not enough for her. Now she's got to claim that it's a curse. It was a really annoying
Is
news
she the
story.
same
and I
one that
figured-
does the Priceline commercials
Yes, and she's
Have
the
you seen
same
those
one who
commercials?
killed. She's the same, she's the same person who killed would-be friend of the pod John Ritter. She did a sitcom with him, and even though he died back in 2003,
Oh,
I feel like his spirit listens to our podcast.
He was an early supporter.
Yeah, early.
yeah, he was an early supporter. She also recently took a selfie with her husband and was like topless, wasn't she? She took a
Oh
topless
damn,
selfie.
Liz! I don't know. You tell us, president of the Kaylee Cuoco fan club.
I don't know. I read
Liz, like,
all I
she was also
you know how I
born
get my
in
news is I read a link.
Massachusetts, and she also has a size 2, and I'm also on her dick. Ooh!
Yeah, she's in my bed with me right now
Yeah.
because she can't live in her house anymore because it's fucking cursed by Khloe Kardashian's giant Sasquatch feet.
Excellent segue. That was fucking brilliant. Oh, you didn't put anything besides Kentucky Derby on your show notes, so I'm assuming that you're drinking a fucking mint julep right now with a big ass Derby hat and ready to fucking turn
I
it.
just put Kentucky Derby like 2 seconds ago because
I know. I was like, Oak didn't leave notes, and now Kentucky Derby's there.
I'll tell you why. First of all, because I had a bad show prep week, and then I was up until the ungodly hour of 2 in the morning last night because I was watching the Floyd Mayweather fight, which was an outstanding fight. But I did observe that the Kentucky Derby this year was really interesting. I didn't watch it, but I did catch the like highlights later on at Sports Center, and the horse that won was named California Chrome, and it's a really funny story because apparently the owners bred California Chrome from 2 horses that they bought for like $8,000 and $2,500, like respectively, and everyone, all, like big trainers, were telling him like how they were, such dummies, and they were like, they would, why are they even racing this horse? And now the horse is a Kentucky Derby winner, and they'll be making millions off that horse for life, like they're set forever, and
Yeah,
like it's a really cool story.
that is a cool story. Rags to riches. Nice job, horse.
Yeah, so it is very cool. It's sort of like breaking into the like an elite fraternity or whatever. Just being kind
Like
of
the Barack Obama of horses.
Yeah.
Was that racist?
No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't racist at all.
I'm going to think of that horse.
Thank
when
you.
I'm definitely going to think of
That's
that horse later when I squirt a palm of Elmer's glue and then just keep it dries. Remember doing that as a kid? I'm definitely going to pour some
Doing what?
for that horse. Remember when you used to pour like Elmer's glue in your hand and make a thin layer, and then it would dry, and then you would just peel it off, and it felt like you were peeling your skin off?
Yep, love doing that.
Yeah, so I'm saying.
I also used to make pretend scars with rubber cement. I don't know if you ever did that.
pretend scars.
Yeah,
What's
you could
the-
like fold your skin together to make it look like you have a terrible scar,
That's amazing.
and then glue it together with rubber cement. I know.
Rubber cement sounds a little bit more permanent than Elmer's glue, though.
Not really.
Is that why? Is that
I
why
don't
you
have any of
to
those
make-
scars anymore.
You do.
So Oak, talk about this Floyd Mayweather fight.
So for those of you who are not particular boxing fans, Floyd Mayweather is the current WBC, W something, like he has dozens of belts. Anyways, he's a great champion. He's 46-0 in his career, 37 years old. Fought a fighter named Marco Maidana, who has a great record as well. He's like 35-3 or something. And it was just, a strong, like, 10-round battle where the Maidana came out like the first, like, 6 rounds and really put Mayweather on the defensive, and which nobody's done in a really long time. Cut him. Mayweather's never been cut in his career. He had a cut over his eye. And it was just the closest fight that Mayweather's been in a really long time. And it was really exciting to, watch him battle back at the end and, put in a strong performance in the final rounds and, like, pull out the split decision. But a lot of boxing matches are really boring, which is, part of the reason why boxing is sort of fading from the public consciousness. But this was just an outstanding fight and totally worth staying up, like, way past my bedtime for. So.
And what time did it start? How long did it last?
The actual fight didn't start until like 12:20 probably, because it's in Las Vegas, so it's time difference. And then it lasted 35 minutes, something like that, 40 minutes.
That's amazing to me. I mean, I guess no sporting event is much longer than that, but like to prepare that much for something that only lasts like 30, and that's kind of long, right? That went for a long time.
Well,
some boxing matches are really, really short.
It depends. It went the entire length of the match, and the number of rounds depends on like how they decide. Right. The fighters and their management decide ahead of time they want to do it. But yeah, they're typically like that amount of time. But yeah, and we were observing about Mayweather last night that like he doesn't really do training camps. Like he just trains all the time. Like he never stops training.
Yeah.
It doesn't like lose weight or gain weight and then have to lose weight or like get out of shape and have to get back in shape. He just trains all the time. When he's not like making it with $100 bills and like just acting crazy, like he's training. Apparently he'll just get up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and he just sends a couple texts and his like staff just shows up and they go for a run, or he wants to go spar, hit whatever time. They just do it, and he's got people that just are ready to train at any time, and he's not like particularly organized about it. He just trains when it seems like the right time to train, and he's an incredible fighter. He's one of the greatest of all time, and it's like something special to watch him.
The last fight that I watched, and I'll let you guys get over your shockedness, but the last fight that I watched was the Mike Tyson Evander Holyfield fight when he bit his ear. I obviously didn't even choose to see that. I think I was young enough where I had to watch it because it was purchased and we were watching it. But how much did this fight cost? Like, how much did you have to pay on pay-per-view to watch it? Because they're so ridiculously expensive.
They are. My buddy got it. I'm not sure how much he paid. I guess $60 or $80 probably. It's
crazy, right? And then
wow.
Yeah, and it seems like
That's
it's a
crazy.
short. It seems like it's a short fight, but imagine just getting your face punched. I mean, for like a fucking three seconds is enough
like
for
half
that,
an hour.
Yeah, it's like way too much.
That's true. I wouldn't even be able to handle it for a second.
But there's rumors that Floyd Mayweather...
How much does he get paid for that fight?
Oh, a ton.
He was guaranteed $31 million. And then he probably took away like 40 something.
Wow. That's cool.
And when you think about it,
I would totally get up and train at 2 o'clock in the morning if I knew there was that sort of payout at the end.
Yeah, now he's thinking about his legacy. Like he has a guy that follows him around shouting TBE, the best ever, and so that's how he wants to be remembered as the greatest boxer ever.
Yeah, you got to work pretty hard to be the best ever.
He could do it.
Oak, when you were saying he wakes up and sends out a few texts and starts training, like I was like, I was thinking exactly what Liz said. Like, if that was my only job, I would too. Like, that's what I have to be good at. But then the more I thought about it, I'd be like, no, I would still be like, not yet. Friends is on. I'm gonna watch some Friends. I have some pizza left over in the fridge. Like,
Yeah.
I'll get around to training for this later.
You know,
I'll do all my training literally the day before the
Yeah,
fight.
I know. I would procrastinate it.
Afraid that I'm good enough for it. Even if it was my full-time job, I don't think I have the conviction. Yeah, which is why it's so cool. I mean, the guy is that talented, and he has the conviction, and he fucking makes it happen.
I don't think that he needs to to discipline himself, really. I think that that's just his way. Like, it's just
Yeah.
natural to him. And I think probably it has always been. And
Yeah.
one of the reasons that he's so great is that he at all these years of boxing, he's 37 years old, he doesn't have to force himself. He just, it's like a fish swims. Like, he just trains. Like, he just feels compelled to train. And that's just how his life is. And that's why, he's never takes a dip in his conditioning. He never, you never see him like less trained than usual, just because that's just who he is. He just trains for.
You know what's crazy? There's a rumor that he has one of his one of his entourage guys, carry a duffel bag filled with like $100,000 at all times.
Yeah, he does.
Like, he always has someone carrying that amount of money with him.
Yeah, that's accurate.
It's just crazy.
And he's the type of person who, like, he's insane, but like that's who he is. It's that insanity that like causes him to be the type of person who he doesn't have to force himself to get up and go train at 2 o'clock in the morning all year round.
So here's the interesting thing.
But he's also elusive. Everyone's like, oh, like he should be a role model and like a better person. Like, he's fucking crazy. He's a crazy person. Like, of course he is. Look at how talented he is. Like, he doesn't have any.
Bean, I think we lost your audio.
Unless this is the miming segment that you had planned.
So here's the thing about Floyd Mayweather. It's like, so he has this incredible circus going on around him. He's got like Justin Bieber and like Lil Wayne in his entourage, and like he actually walked into the ring for this most recent fight with an actual circus, like clowns, jugglers, like the whole 9 yards.
No way.
Yeah, and so he makes like a huge spectacle of what he's doing, and like prior to the fight, like he talks all kinds of shit, and like he just makes a big spectacle of himself and does all this like wild stuff. But the day of the fight, like the night of the fight, like walking in and preparing, there's all this wild stuff going around, but he is all business.
Yeah.
Like, it's like none of it's even there. He just,
You know,
all he is a boxer. And
I feel like the whole Justin Bieber thing brings him down.
Well, it doesn't. So here's the thing. Here's my theory is that he discovered like early on in his career that a huge spectacle and all this hype and all this stuff doesn't affect him. So, but it does affect other fighters. So it like behooves him to make a huge spectacle, which then distracts the other fighter, but not him.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny though? If you think about it, it's actually pretty fucking brilliant that he does involve Justin Bieber. Because someone like me, I'm like, damn, Floyd, you're way cooler than that to associate yourself with Justin Bieber, who's just a fucking bitch. But when you think about it, now all these girls know that he's Justin Bieber's friend. These girls can get their boyfriends or their dads to purchase the fight, and now he's reached a whole new audience. He has all these people who kind of want to tune in and see, is Justin going to be there? This is Justin's friend. He has a whole new group of people to support him. So it's actually pretty genius.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and the funny thing is after the fight, he's like the most gracious guy. Like leading up to the fight, he's all talking shit, like nobody can touch me. This guy is like, he's I'm out of his league. He can't do all this other stuff. But then after the fight, he's like the picture of sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. I love Floyd Mayweather. I think he's a great champion, and I'm happy to see him do well, and I love watching his fight. So.
Did you hear about? I think this is Floyd Mayweather. God, I hope it was, because there was some news earlier this week about someone, and I'm pretty sure it was him, that broke up with his girlfriend because she got an abortion. You know if that was Floyd Mayweather?
Um,
So he had a picture. He tweeted a picture of a sonogram, and there were twin girls in there. And he's like, "That bitch aborted my daughters," or something like that. And so if that wasn't enough, she added insult to injury by dumping him, and now she's dating Nelly. So imagine, this is probably like a really good end to a shitty week for Floyd Mayweather.
yes, that was Floyd Mayweather. I'm looking at an article right now.
Yeah, and now she's with Nelly, so Nelly must really like trash bags.
I was not aware of that whole controversy, but apparently, according to Hollywood Life,
Yes, that's fucking pure journalism for me. I hope you know that.
internet's fucking terrible.
Yeah, when we do our planning for this show, as it starts, as the opening song comes on, I'm on TMZ looking for all my talking points. So we lost.
You're auto tuning on me.
She's sitting there in silence, but she can't hear us and she can't speak.
I wonder if that
You there?
our YouTube effort is foiled. That's a shame. Well, what do you got? More stuff you want to talk about, or should we wrap
Can
it
you
up
hear
for
me?
this week?
I see Rabbit. I think Liz sent a message pick the week was pretty brilliant. I feel like I got out of it. Liz sent us an internal note in this chat, and she wrote, "Go on without me," which I'm sure she said in her fucking damsel in distress tone. And she said, "My pick of the week is Darius Rucker's cover of Wagon Wheel." So, pretty.
All right,
psyched about
excellent.
that.
Wait, hold on. I got to do our pick of the week drop. We got picks. If you're Googling at the moment, it's time to make them.
And Dix.
I'm looking for what I've been doing this week so I can read it on the radio.
I'm shimmying right now.
All right, picks. So Bean made her pick. It's Darius Rucker's cover of Wagon Wheel. My pick this week is The Last Psychiatrist blog. It's a blog written by this anonymous psychiatrist that I really love, and some articles are like actually like pointed at psychiatrists. It's like a bunch of stuff about psychiatry. It's all technical. But a lot of the other stuff is just observations about popular culture, and it's fucking brilliant. Love that.
What's the URL for it? TheLastPsychiatristblog.com.
I think it's thelastpsychiatrist.com. But I will tweet it out. But it's an awesome blog. It's like super cynical, brilliantly written. Very good. Unfortunately, hasn't been coming out as often as it used to. But I love it. A lot of great articles.
I'm definitely going to check that out. It's funny, though, because you're right. Sometimes you really like something, and then it doesn't come out as often as you want it to, because you want to read something new every day. And I can imagine that the writers of that blog are like, like, I have nothing great to say, which is sometimes what we struggle with on this podcast, but we still fucking dial it in, and we churn out great content every week.
We don't care if we don't.
We'll never leave you guys hanging.
We're gonna talk. goddammit.
Yeah. My pick of the week is what I alluded to earlier. It's an app called iFunny. And you can just get it through the iTunes App Store. I don't know if it's available through Google Play, but it's basically kind of like I'm whatever. Scroll through, and there's a ton of just like really funny memes and shit. So definitely check it out and have fun with it.
What was that URL again?
Oh,
Just when you get to that vital piece of information, you're auto-tuning. Wah, wah. Alas, it looks like we've been thwarted by the internet today. All right. Well, and then there was one.
I'm back.
Yes.
Yes, just in time. I had to turn my video off. I think my video fucked up, but now you guys can see my new fucking headshot.
I like that.
Bam!
That's baller.
Yeah. All right, well, great pod.
Link's
Oak,
not muted or something?
Huh?
I feel so sad seeing you being there trapped in a glass case of emotion, unable to communicate with us.
She's also frozen, though, because she's not blinking, and she hasn't been blinking for about 15 minutes. So, we'll see.
Byram, can you take us through your pick one more time? We were losing you when you were making it.
Oh, okay, my pick of the week is iFunny. It's an app. I know for sure it's available on iTunes. I don't know if it's available for any Android devices, but it's basically kind of like what you picked a couple weeks ago, Imgur or Imgur.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty much like that, but you can kind of just go through a K-hole of fucking funny, photos and GIFs, and you can lose a lot of time.
I love those. All right. Well, we will tweet out the picks. Great show this week. I'm really excited. On the YouTube, we can see her now, but she can't hear us or communicate with us. It's really sad. So, anyway, thanks for a great show, guys. Follow us on Twitter. We are at Sideways Pod, at Sideways Pod. Lots of great stuff. And leave us a review on iTunes. We really love it. We'll see you next week.